a vehicle that was supposed to stay in history, a name that muscle car fans refuse to forget. And now in 2027, the legend may finally be making a comeback. But this is not just another Mustang. This could be the machine that forces even expensive performance cars to look over their shoulder. Because if the rumors, concepts, and early expectations are anywhere close to reality, the 2027 Mustang Boss 302 might become one of the wildest modern muscle cars Ford has ever created. And here's the crazy part. By the end of this video, you might actually start asking a question nobody expected to hear. Should supercars be worried? Welcome back. Today we're diving deep into the machine that has car enthusiasts talking again, the possible return of the Mustang Boss 302. Now, for people who are new to the Boss name, this isn't just a random badge Ford once placed. On a Mustang, the Boss 302 has history, real history. Back in the golden era of American muscle, the Boss 302 was built with a purpose. It wasn't simply about making noise or looking aggressive. It had racing in its blood. It carried an identity that separated it from ordinary performance, cars. And over the years, the Boss badge became something special, because some cars are fast, some cars are powerful, but only a few become legends. And now in 2027, enthusiasts are wondering whether Ford could bring that same spirit into a modern world filled with electric cars, hybrid technology, and digital everything. Now imagine this. You walk into a parking lot and see a Mustang sitting in the distance, but something immediately feels different. The front end looks wider, lower, more aggressive. The grille appears larger, almost as if it's pulling air directly into a monster waiting underneath the hood. Sharp LED lighting stretches across the front design, giving the car an angry expression, even while standing still. Then your eyes move upward, a sculpted hood, large vents, sharper body lines, a stance that screams performance before the engine even starts. And as you walk around the side profile, massive. Wheels fill the arches, while wider tires hint that this machine was designed for more than straight-line speed. Because modern performance is no longer just horsepower, it's control, handling, balance, precision. And Ford could be aiming directly at all of it. But wait, because the rear might be where things become even more interesting. Imagine a redesigned diffuser, quad exhaust outlets, a more aggressive spoiler, and a look that says one thing very clearly: do not underestimate me. Now let's get to the part everyone cares about, the heart of the beast, because no Mustang conversation is complete without talking about what's sitting underneath that hood. Many enthusiasts believe that if Ford ever brings back the Boss 302, it simply cannot lose what made it famous: the V8. Because for many fans, removing that sound would remove the soul. Imagine pressing the start button. For a second, silence. Then suddenly, a deep roar explodes to life. Not artificial speakers, not simulated sounds, real mechanical emotion. Now exact details remain uncertain, but enthusiasts continue imagining a high-performance V8 setup that could deliver serious numbers. Over 500 horsepower? Possibly. Massive torque? Very possible. Improved throttle response? Likely. Track-focused tuning? Almost expected. And if that happens, this thing could become a serious threat, because performance numbers start becoming dangerous once you begin comparing them with cars costing dramatically more. Imagine a launch. Your foot hits the accelerator. The rear tires fight for grip. The car throws you backward into the seat. Your heartbeat suddenly becomes louder than your thoughts. 60 miles per hour arrives, almost instantly, and before you realize it, triple-digit speeds start appearing. Now suddenly, the conversation changes, because people stop asking, "Is it fast?" and start asking, "Wait, how much does it cost?" And that is where things get scary, because supercars usually dominate performance conversations. Huge horsepower, crazy designs, massive prices. But muscle cars have always followed a different formula. deliver outrageous performance without requiring a millionaire's bank account. So imagine this Mustang entering the ring against some serious competition, maybe against a BMW M4 competition, maybe against a Porsche 911 Turbo, or even a Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Now, obviously, these are different machines built for different purposes, but the conversation becomes interesting once performance starts getting close, while the price gap remains enormous. Because suddenly people begin thinking, why spend supercar money? And that's exactly why the Mustang formula has survived for decades. Now, performance is only part of the story. Step inside. Modern Mustangs have evolved dramatically, and if a future Boss 302 appears, expectations will be high. Imagine performance, seats hugging you tightly, digital gauges displaying real-time performance information, track telemetry, custom driving modes, carbon fiber accents, a cockpit focused entirely around the driver. But here's where things become interesting, because not every enthusiast wants more screens. Some want raw simplicity. Some want pure driving emotion. Some want fewer computers and more engine noise. And that could become one of the biggest debates surrounding a future Boss 302. Should Ford push deeper into technology, or should they protect the old-school muscle car feeling? That question alone could divide fans. Now let's talk price. If Ford decides to position a Boss 302 above standard Mustang models while keeping it below ultra-expensive performance machines, this could become a serious value monster. Because enthusiasts love performance. But enthusiasts also love value. And combining both can create something dangerous, something that changes the market, something people remember. And maybe that's exactly what Ford wants, because at the end of the day, the Mustang has always represented more than numbers on paper. Its attitude, its sound, its personality. It's that feeling you get when you hear a V8 before you even see the car. So if the Boss 302 truly returns in a big way, the question may no longer be whether Mustang fans are excited. The real question becomes, did Ford build the ultimate modern muscle car? Or did they accidentally create a machine that gives supercars a reason to be nervous? Tell me what you think. Would you take the 2027 Boss 302, or would you choose something else?